What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is March 3rd and we are getting a whole bunch of WWE 2K25 news with the embargo being lifted and all the people who are at Creator Fest are getting their stuff out now. So if I'm here, that means there's another video on WWE 2K25's MyGM upcoming, and we'll get into that shortly with 3 major improvements coming to this year's game. So if you like MyGM content, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below of what you're looking forward to most of all the changes coming to this year's version of MyGM in the comments below. Without any further ado, let's get into it right now. In our previous video, we covered the new GMs that were coming to 2K25. Now we can report a new brand is coming as well. NXT Mutiny is something that players will see in the My Rise mode, but the developers of MyGM brought over to MyGM. It also brings its own power card, and it's a pretty interesting one. And what it does is, instead of receiving half the value of a wrestler's release salary, you get all your money back instead. So imagine using these on a legend in the early game. It could be a huge deal. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. And we talked about wanting to have the ability to create your own brand. That's still a ways away, but we keep taking new additions to the mode, and I think NXT Mutiny will be an interesting addition. Now we'll jump over to the game settings. There has been a major gameplay change in my opinion, and that has been the win condition added. You now have the ability to decide whether it's GM trophies or fans that puts a player in top spot. This is something people have been asking since MyGM came back in 2022, so I'm very happy to see it in. Another tweak with the game setting is that the GM trophies now end the mode. You can choose between 1 and 15 trophies being the finish line, but when a player gets to the set amount of trophy, the game ends. Another change I really like that 2K added in. While we're on the topic of game settings, I'll touch on online MyGM very quickly. There are a few things you can't do while playing online, and that's use custom GMs or rosters. I think that's fair, just keeping everything neutral, that makes sense. And to speed things up, you cannot play or spectate matches, which again, just for me, a no-brainer. We can also introduce timers to be put in place to ensure that the mode does not run too long. And the last thing, which I think is pretty cool, is weeks are played simultaneously rather than waiting for the next player to do their card as well, so there's less wait time. I'm going to start offline like I usually do, but I'm definitely going to get into online MyGM in this year's game. The last thing we're going to go in depth in today's video is the addition of Go Home shows. Go Home shows will now work the way that PLEs did in 2K24. You can now blow off rivalries on the Go Home show, which is the show before the PLE. And the reason why they did that is because now PLEs are now cross-brand. This is something I didn't ask for in previous videos, but after seeing a little bit of it, this could be the coolest thing they added in. PLEs going cross-brand means the opener and the main events of that show will have your wrestlers competing against an opposing brand's wrestler, and there are little rewards if your wrestler wins. In cross-brand matches, if your wrestler wins, you gain rare power cards, so it's really tempting to put your biggest superstar in a match to gain these power cards. In addition to that, you will also get a fan boost after the show, so these cross-brand matches could literally be the difference between winning and losing. So for me, it was the new brand, it was the new win conditions, and the Go Home Show edition, I think, were the 3 big changes I wanted to focus on. Changes, improvements, however you want to look at it. So those got the main focus, but that was not all. There are many other new improvements to this game. We'll go through them right now. With power cards now transfer from season to season, which is, I believe, coming back because it was removed from last game, but I'm pretty sure they transferred over in 2K23. Which kind of was, I don't know why they took it out, but it's back in now, so that's good. We can now put $4 million as our budget starting the mode, which I think has been asked for by a lot of players across the world, so that's good to see that the budget has increased. Morale will have a bigger effect on the roster. That's kind of vague, but we'll see how that plays out. AI will be smarter than last year, and the example that the developer gave was the AI won't just play all the power cards they have on you in week 5 like previously, and sometimes even before week 5, honestly. They will keep their power cards and play them gradually as the mode goes on, which I think is a great improvement because even extreme difficulty got pretty easy in the end. Speaking of extreme difficulty, we will have 5 matches all year round if you're playing on extreme difficulty. So it won't just be 4 matches and then 5 matches with the PLE. It's 5 all year round, so you'll definitely need a bigger roster if you're playing on extreme difficulty. There are no new promos. You still cannot trade power cards. Those are some of the smaller negative info that I took, but I don't think that really matters with what they're giving us, so that's fine. They've added 20 new local talents, and for me, I'm not sure how much this is going to make a difference for other people, but for me, it's always bothered me that you could not see the other brands' rosters until it came to the trade screen. After each 5 weeks, you can have the trade proposals, and that's when you can see what the other roster look like fully. So the fact that you can now see the other brands' rosters in your GM My Assistant screen is a huge increase, or a huge addition for me that I'm certainly looking forward to. So having said all that, I'll leave it up to you guys now, and you let me know down in the comments what your favorite addition to 2K25's MyGM will be this year. There is a lot to choose from, so let me know what you are looking forward to the most. I think it might be, for me, the new Go Home show. Again, like I mentioned before, it's something that I really didn't think I even wanted. And now with getting it explained to how that's going to work with the whole cross-brand PLEs, it's going to be kind of cool. So we'll see how this works. Apparently there's more PLEs to choose from as well. There's up to 10 this year instead of, I think, 6 or 7 that we got last year, including Money in the Bank. So we'll have to see how that works. But there is a lot of cool things coming up right around the corner. We will be listing a video on this channel 9 a.m. on Friday morning with our first go of MyGM in 2K25. So stay tuned for that, coming again 9 a.m. on Friday morning, release day. I hope to have a video out there for everybody to enjoy day one of release, or of early release actually I should say. So keep an eye open for that. Please, if you haven't already, leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps small creators out like me so much. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.